Okay, I hope now you are able to see my screen. So what I have here I have a simple Node.js website based on Express framework. It's almost like a production website, but why almost? It's a production website. In Ukraine we host like a first Azure specific conference called Azure Day. It was a community conference, and for this community conference website we use Node.js, we use Express framework, we host this site on Azure websites, and for storing our data we use Azure Table Storage. So I create this service called data storage. And what I have inside. So basically, as you can see, it's a regular Node.js code. Nothing really special here. I just have this nconf module, and inside my web config I have storage account name and storage account key. I need these two values to access my Azure table storage. So I create a reference for my Azure SDK. So Azure Storage, it's an SDK for Azure, and I will open my package.json file. As you can see, Azure Storage here, it's just a regular npm module. If you are not familiar with npm, npm stands for no problem man. So you can use this npm module inside your Node.js application. Okay, then I create this function called init, and here I just call this very useful method create table if not exists. And basically I just create some tables, like a main table for main settings, table for agenda, for registrations, for speakers, for locations, and blah blah blah. So I just create an empty tables, and that's all. So I leave this callback empty here just to demonstrate that I do not need any callbacks from the server. Let's say that I want to query my entities. I create this method called getEntities, and what I have here, I have table name, because I need to know which exact table I want to query. Also I have partition key, row key, and other custom filter stuff. Then I just combine all my filters in a single object. After that, if I have no filters here, so basically I want to query all entities in this case, I will just create an empty Azure table query. In case I have some kind of filters inside, I will take like the first one, and I will say that I want to create a string filter here, and please this property name should be equal to this property value. In case I have several filters, like first name equal Anton and second name equal Boyko in my case, I create this combine filter query, and I will just combine all my other filters using this AND clause with my newly created filters. After that, I will just set new Azure table query, and I will chain where function, and for this where function I will provide my combined filter query. So it's kind of really easy. I do not need to create all these requests from the scratch. I can easily use all SDK methods. Then I just create a new promise, and for table service I will scroll a little bit up, and I will just demonstrate that table service is kind of a reference for Azure table service. So for this table service I will set query entities, I will provide table name, I will provide an exact query, and also here I will have my promise resolve in this callback. I will have this promise resolve stuff, and I will just return all entities outside. Of course, here we are able to handle some errors or maybe some another unpredictable situations, but for this demonstration I think this code is kind of good enough. Let's talk about insert query. When we want to insert this query, we will provide only table name and entity. Then we will call insert entity. I will again highlight this insert entity. It's a regular SDK method. So we will call insert entity and provide table name, entity, and some callback. We can have error inside this callback, we can have result, and we can have all other stuff inside response. Now I will go here. I will uncomment these lines and, for example, this line. And here I just want to show how I insert new entities. For example, this is a part of my registration mechanism, and when when attendee want to register himself to our conference, I will create for each attendee this registration entity. Inside partition key, I will save this constant. I can easily explain why, because, for example, if next year we will want to host the same conference, I just need to change this partition key something like this, and I will have all new registrations inside this new partition. For row key, I will use user email, because if you register this email once for our conference, you should be unable to register this email like second time, and so on and so on. And also I will create a custom field called full name, and also I will create another custom field called location, because we host this conference in several locations, so that's why I need to understand to which location my user will come. And after that I will call my insert entity from data storage, and I will say the table name is Azure Day Registration and entity is this entity. And voila, everything is working fine. So it's very, very simple stuff. The same stuff, for example, for merging entities, it's also not a big deal. I can easily merge entities. I just need to provide table name and entity, and that's all. Here I have some additional error handling, but basically you can skip it. It's not important from the Azure understanding perspective. So it's very simple and straightforward.